Hello, hello! Welcome to Cold Waters. Assuming that this is on live and working and all that kind of jazz, and I guess I'll find out in a second or so. No, it does appear to be working. Oh, rather splendid. I hope everyone is good, I hope everyone is well, I hope everyone is looking forward to me getting my backside handed to me. But this evening, I'm going to be experimenting with another variant of a standoff weapon that I was playing around with. It's just the concept of one. Yes, I know. I have the concept of a weapon. We're not going to mention politics tonight because this is set in 1984. Although actually, the fictional campaign idea that I've got in mind is set in a time when Reagan was running for re-election and the British government was nearly killed by the Provisional IRA, who blew up a hotel in Brighton. Hey, Daniel. So, yeah, political turmoil in October 1984 is the idea I've got behind the sort of campaign I'm piecing together. But I really want to just experiment with an underwater rocket-powered torpedo. It's not a weapon that exists, at least not that we know of. And it's an alternative to the Soviets' rocket-launched or rocket air-launched torpedo. And that weapon, very noisy but very effective, lobs a torpedo at you. It's rocket-launched, drops the torpedo on your head, and then you suffer for it. So what could possibly go wrong with an alternative that's fired underwater? Well, I'm not sure. But we'll give it a go because, I mean, what's the worst that happens, right? The first things first, a bit of a sneak preview here. The patrol zone I'd selected for the campaign is this area here, between Iceland and the Faroe Islands. And let's see. Let's go with 26th of October. Thank you, Daniel. Yeah, so let's see. You know, I should probably like it myself, and in that way I'll be the first to like it. Okay, so I'm gonna just experiment with a single one-on-one battle first, and I'll talk a little bit about my sort of idea here for what we're going to do with the weapon, how it's going to work. I don't really want to know what I'm up against until it's maybe too late. So, let's do that. Okay. We won't give him any air support. So I'm setting up a quick mission here. I'm having the enemy move at 6 knots or cruising it up to 6 knots. So they're going to be a little hard to spot. It's going to be one of these types. So we have a boomer cruise missile, we have a diesel cruise missile carrier, some potential attack boats. Let's throw some of these in here as well, just for the sake of it. Bit of a mixed bag. And we'll be in HMS Superb, or Super B S109. Go with that one, yep. And we're going to give ourselves, I think, let's not make this overpowered. Let's just give myself, well, you know, in the scenario that I've got in mind, we only have 2 torpedoes. We have got Tigerfish. Actually, I need to do that. And we've got two Tigerfish, and that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and let us suppose we also happen to have a Tigerfish D. Now, I'm not entirely sure what the D stands for. It could be Disrupt, it could be the Tigerfish David. But this is my rocket-powered underwater torpedo. Let's go ahead and jump into the game, and let's take a look. Let's see.
Con, sonar, new contact bearing 1.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Make depth 4, 5 feet, dive by.
So I've given myself a few limits with this. But first things first, let's identify what we're actually facing against. Looks like a Charlie 2.
Con, sonar, Sierra 1 is classified as submerged submarine.
Okay. Not a big shake here, to be fair. Charlie 2 is likely maybe a 2 torpedo or 3 torpedo kill. Okay, so quick discussion about the Swiftshore. We're in HMS Superb. She's period accurate, as far as I can tell, as at October 1984. So she has the older passive sonar. She's got a towed array. She carries a combination of Grog torpedoes, Mark 23s. Not a popular weapon, kind of slow, but at least they're quiet. And some Tigerfish. Tigerfish were just coming, well, they were in service. I keep yawning, excuse me. They were in service at this point, but they were the Mod 1s. So they're known to be, let's just say, they're a little chewy on the wires when they're launched. They sort of tumble when they're launched, and they can break the wire. And one of the big benefits of a wire-guided torpedo is that you can guide it past any countermeasure that the enemy might deploy. That's very powerful. You can also dogleg it, so you can send it off in a different direction and have it turn back towards the enemy. You can do this to confuse the enemy. You can do lots of different things with that. Keep yawning. I may have to get myself another cup of coffee. Anyway, for the time being, we're facing off against a Charlie 2, so it's a nuclear-powered cruise missile carrier. And he has got standoff.
Con sonar, Sierra 1 is cavitating.
He's got standoff weapons, SSN-16, and he's got Set 65M. That's a wire-guided, fairly poor-quality torpedo, if memory serves me correctly. Let's take a quick look. Is it wire-guided? No. Okay. He has a 1500-yard sensor range, but my weapons have way more sensor range than this. So, if I make myself known, there's a chance he'll fire a standoff weapon at me. And what that is that it's a torpedo-shaped weapon. It's launched from a torpedo tube, typically in the bow. When it's fired, it makes lots of noise. It's pushed out with compressed air. We should hear that. At this range, we should, or just... Yes, we should. And it rises to the surface, and then deploys a rocket. And the rocket carries with it a torpedo, and it's lobbed typically in what's the term? A parabolic curve. So it's pointed in my direction. It's lobbed at me, and then when it gets to the right point, it needs to
Come right to 086 helm I.
Torpedo pops a parachute and splashes down to the sea, and then begins searching for me, and the rest of the weapon just is discarded. So it's off to David Jones' locker. Nasty weapon. The light torpedo that it carries is not particularly devastating, but sometimes you get hit by a torpedo. It doesn't matter whether it's a big warhead or a small warhead, it hurts no matter where you get hit. So that's the Russian standoff weapon, and they probably had mastered this technology by 1984. So what I've come up with is a plan so cunning only the Brits would come up with it, maybe. And that is, well, rather than lob it through the air, why don't we just, I don't know, point it at the target, but keep the rocket motor underwater, and get it to supercavitate, get it to whiz its way towards the enemy location, and then discard the rocket motor, and be left with a light torpedo that's already in the water. I mean, what could possibly go wrong, right? So we'll try it. So we now know exactly where he is. Let's load my Tigerfish D. And I'm going to tell this Tigerfish to maybe go right here.
Con, helm, steady course.
Just under the I and the L of the word Charlie 2. So we'll go ahead and launch it here.
Shoot tube 5.
Now that makes a ton of noise. Not only have we squirted it out the front of the boat, but it also has this rocket motor that blasts off, and off it goes up to 200 something knots, and so it's going to be supercavitating at this speed. And when it supercavitates, it essentially creates a gas around the torpedo, and if the torpedo moves through a gas rather than through water, there's a lot less drag, and there's the aerodynamic as opposed to hydrodynamic, and air is not as sticky, so it can go quicker. Now the plan, in fact, so far it's working great. The torpedo will when it reaches the designated point, now I can't show this, I don't have the ability to code this into code waters, It basically drops the rocket motor and turns itself into a light torpedo. Here it is approaching the target, and it will start to slow down.
Sonar, noisemaker, bearing 116.
Charlie 2 is identified as just under attack. It will drop off the rocket motor and it will start to slow down, and it will maneuver itself and look for a target. So let's see if it works. Right. Okay, so it's come off the rocket motor. We don't hear it, sadly, but it is slowing down, and it's doing a left turn. It's doing a Han Solo maneuver, a gentle left turn, searching for a target. Because it's moving so quickly, the circle it makes is enormous, but it's got quite a big search area. Let's see if it can detect.
Con sonar, noisemaker, bearing 117.
See, so far I would say not. Yeah, it's utterly ineffective. So I should probably have told it to go deep or to go shallow, and that's on me. But as this Charlie maneuvers, and as this torpedo slows down, maybe it'll be a bit more effective. And of course, some of this is I've got to learn how the thing works. I'm going to accelerate time. In fact, let's switch to the Charlie 2.
Con sonar, noisemaker, bearing 118.
Alright, let's switch to that and let's just accelerate time here.
Con,
okay.
Fire control, weapon
Wow.
countermeasure home.
Well, the Tigerfish D detected something and dropped down to depth very, very quickly. And now, of course, it's going to turn around again and have another go at attacking this guy. So D here could be disrupt or heck, distract maybe. Yeah, look at that thing go. It's supposed to be slowing down to 50 knots, but it's screaming around the circle like it's thing possessed. And now head-on attack. Wow. That. It punched a hole in the front of this Charlie 2, but it didn't kill it. Okay, that's actually very interesting. The fact that the Charlie 2 is still floating. Okay, with that much speed, there would have been quite a bit of kinetic energy. A physical bash into the target, I think that would have likely killed it because it was moving very, very quickly. But you know what, though? I think maybe it was moving a little too quick when it impacted. And now I've got to kill this guy the old-fashioned way. I'm going to accelerate time. Is he sinking? Yeah, I think he is. So he's gonna land on the seabed, and let's see if this kills him or not. He's going at flank speed, I think, or close to. So he's definitely sinking. He's not healthy. Is this going to destroy him? No, I don't think so. But I've taken him out of the fight, and so this probably counts as a victory. But the weapon is not as devastating as it could be. That's interesting. Okay, I've got an idea. So let me flick back to a different screen here. That's going to pause what we're doing here with the game. So let's go ahead and take a look. I want to look for the definition. Let's go ahead and just... This is not something I don't think you can see on the screen, but we'll give it a go. Let's go back to here. And go here. Not that much to see. In fact, let's go ahead and get my spreadsheet up that will show what we're doing here. So that's what we're doing. So, alright, I'm going to go ahead and close the game. I wonder if this will kill this. It shouldn't kill the stream, and it might just pause whatever's going on here. Okay, so if you can see what's still on my monitor, fantastic. But if not, oops, I'll have to guide you through it. But what we're going to be doing, I'm going to go into the Tigerfish D definition. If I really, yeah, it's not showing. I want to fix that. I'm sure I can make that. Must be a way I can make this work properly, right? I mean, surely. Does that do it? I don't know. Let's see if that works. Right. No, probably not, actually, now I think about it. Okay, never mind. Yes, I have to do that. I have to do this. Okay, let's see if that works. And still nothing. Alright, well that's an epic failure. So I'll best be quick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make the torpedo quite a bit slower. I'm going to drop its speed to 32 knots. I'm going to keep the warhead damage about the same. I'm going to reduce the run speed ever so slightly. And then, what else was I going to do? Change the noise, the turn rate. I think that's really it. I want it to... No, it's not it. Is that what I need to do with it? Run speed and active speed, I want to make it slower. And that's fine. I think we'll actually bump up its turn rate. That's probably going to help. I think what's happening is it's not able to detect something and turn quickly enough. Let's go ahead and do that. So I will quickly make those changes. So it's running at 220 knots as opposed to 230. It should still, it will still supercavitate at that. Its attack speed is now 32 knots as opposed to 55. Its turn rate's 45 and its sensor range is 45, so it's got a pretty wide cone. The hope here is that it will have a much better attempt at detecting, and I'm very sorry that there's nothing going on the screen right now. Let's jump back in and see if we can fix that. Okay, hopefully this is going to give you my screen, my game, I should say. And I'll fix that the next time I do this. I'll just show the whole monitor as opposed to just what I was doing. Let's see if that's going to work. Do that. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Well, that's good. That's now doing something at least. Okay, so where was I? We'll do the same thing again. 5 knots, and we'll actually go with the same target. So we'll go with the Charlie 2 again. 1st of October's fine. I'm not going to worry too much about that detail. Right, let's hit that. Contains no vessel. Okay. Oopsie. Accept. Start. Right, and then choose a swift shore like so. So it's going to be Super B S109. Change her weapon load, and she had 1 tigerfish in. Yeah, that's exactly what she had. And let's just suppose that instead of this, she had a Tigerfish D as well as a couple of normal tigerfish. Right, let's hit it. Let's see what happens this time.
On sonar, new
Rig ship for ultra.
I'm going to go ahead. I'll keep her at this depth, I think. One of the restrictions I've given the weapon is it will only fire. You can only use the vertical launch system, which points downwards.
Con sonar, Sierra 1 is classified as submerged submarine.
If your depth is 300 feet or shallower. Can you pick up lottlesses and boats too? Are you asking for a friend? You can. You absolutely can. I mean, not only can you pick up mermaids, because I mean, who doesn't like a mermaid sticking to your torpedo, if you know what I mean? But I mean, look at the size of my torpedo, love. Yeah. So yes, you can pick lottlesses, although I think they're called something else. You're wrong there.
Come left to 269.
You know what?
Helm
I don't know, Daniel, if Daniel is still on.
Come
But
left to 274. Helm I.
I know a time ago we talked about using a Euro truck series.
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 1, last bearing 339. Contact faded.
We talked about doing
Con helm steady course.
doing an ETS-2 convoy, and I think we really should. Okay, so I'm pointing my side at the target here. I want to get a pretty good idea where he is, and then we're going to lob one of these Tigerfish D's at him. Tigerfish Disrupt, Tigerfish Distract, Tigerfish Death, and we're going to wait to get a better acoustics on him. Yeah, he's doing 3 knots though. I mean, maybe he's got wind of me. Nobody fart. Okay. I'm on accelerate time, so I've got to wait for the thing to get better resolution. That's probably close enough. I will give it a few more seconds because I really don't want this to miss. It would defeat the point of doing it. What's its depth? Okay. So what I didn't do last time, adjust the depth of the torpedo, but I will this time. So we'll make the torpedo hunt deep. And I think it needs, if it's got a nearly 3,000 detection range, I probably want to have the torpedo be some distance away, not right on top of it. But I'll aim for it being pretty close because we did that last time, and I've improved a couple of things. So, a few more seconds. So at the bottom left, you've got the solution, 74%. That's how accurate we reckon he is. That's got to be 95. Let's see. Violating family. I'm visiting family. I think it's violating family. Don't have my wheel. Did bring your PC controller. I want to do a convoy this. I mean, what's the worst that happens? Well, I mean, there's a few worse things that could happen. Okay, so now we know where he is. I'm going to go ahead and fire it just above. Actually, we're going to aim for the eye in Charlie. Alright, fire tube.
Shoot tube 5. Aye, sir.
Get this thing go. I would say it goes off like a rocket, but that's because it is a rocket. Right, so it's blasting off to the target. It's going to drop its depth when it's deployed. And so it should spiral down and seek out this guy and give him something to think about. I mean, who doesn't like a high-speed torpedo coming at them in the darkness, right? Okay. Let's see how well the speed drops off when it comes off. So, any second now, it should drop off.
Con sonar.
Yep, there we go.
Noisemaker bearing 349.
So it's come off the sensor. Yeah, it's very close to this. To the channel. I would say it's too close. I probably should need to have it come off the rocket motor some distance away. Because this Charlie 2 is right in the middle of the circle, and embarrassingly so, it's not going to do anything. And the depth is only slowly changing. Let's accelerate time. Let's switch to the Charlie. He's decided he doesn't like this. But
Con sonar. Noisemaker bearing 346.
Has anyone seen the movie Stealth, where there's the fire circling the vapor in the clouds as the AI, I guess it's F-47, isn't it? Whatever it is, the AI robot is deciding when it can go, or maybe it's the human crew, and they're tanking up. Of course, the flames are approaching. Well, that's what it looked like to me. Right then. My toilet sure likes it.
Con sonar. Noisemaker bearing 345.
I think the Charlie 2 is missing a trick here. He dropped a noisemaker and he's made himself visible to the torpedo.
Fire control. Weapon countermeasure homing.
But now the torpedo is confused because there's a noisemaker around. It's like he farted underwater.
Con sonar. Sierra 1 is cavitating.
I'm going to switch to Sierra 1.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
What it's worth, we'll run ourselves to ultra quiet. Yeah, so this torpedo is circling it like a mad thing, but not actually reaching it right now. I mean, that's fine. This is a lot of disruption for one torpedo. Now, I think it's going to detect
Con sonar.
it.
Noisemaker bearing 343.
Yeah, I think it did. But it's got turned away by the countermeasure. I guess switch back to the torpedo then. I think it's still moving pretty quickly though. So I don't think this is very effective right now. It's causing one heck of a lot of noise, distracting the Charlie 2 like crazy. And I could be positioning to get a better shot, but I really want this thing to hit it and kill it. So okay, there we go. Ooh, look at the way that thing turns. Wow. Oh, that looks pretty cool.
Con sonar. Noisemaker bearing 348.
Okay. And it just wounded him. Although I imagine he's going to be sinking again. Yeah, he's pretty sick, but he's not dead. Alright, and I think again what would happen was he would get up to the surface and get his crew off, and then we would sink him with a conventional Tigerfish. Okay. That's interesting then. What's actually happening here? So I think the torpedo is going too quickly, for number one. And because it's going so quickly, it's not very maneuverable, even though its ability to turn is pretty sharp. This thing can turn on a dime. I know, Zach, there's a lot of things. Who doesn't like something coming at you in the dark? There's a lot of things going on there. Okay. If it's going to hit you at such a speed, it's going to cause massive damage. It's just going to punch right through the hull. So I think what I want to do is change the definition to give this thing a lot of damage. But it takes a long time to sort of wander around and find what it's doing. So we've nerfed it a bit there. I think its active speed wants to be 1 knot. Let's just get the thing that we just run at us, just not run very quickly. So we'll do that. So run speed's 220 knots, active run speed is 1 knot, and its turn rate is 45 degrees, or whatever that is. Its noise value is going to be quiet as a mouse like that, so we want to do that. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. So I'm going to go ahead and close my game. You have to close Cold Waters when you mod something, and then go ahead and reopen it. And we'll try this again. 3rd time's the charm, right? Maybe. Okay, so single mission, quick mission, 84 NATO versus Soviet. We're going to put ourselves in the same location. We'll make it 1st of November for argument's sake, because hey, why not? 5 knots, Charlie 2. Charlie 2. Let's go accept. Start that mission. Oh yeah, okay. My bad. Start that mission. There we go. And I'm going to be in a Swift Shore class. Let's go ahead and do this. I know I really should go ahead and match the weapons, but I'm just going to be lazy and just give myself 4. I'm not going to be firing anything else other than that. I just want to get this
On sonar lost.
Rig ship for ultra
proof
quiet.
of concept proven. I want to get it sorted out. Right, and we got nothing. We don't know where he is. Wonderful. Oh,
Come right to 0. Make turns for 15 knots. Maneuvering eye.
I feel like I'm doing the intro to one of my normal videos here. I was about to steamroll over the camera.
Maneuvering. Making turns for 15 knots.
Oh, that's actually a pretty cool effect. I mean, it's close, but not that close.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Okay, let's go back here. Right, what I did was I turned away to try and get my towed array at it. I'm going to go ahead and load the
Con,
Tigerfish D.
helm, steady course.
And
Rig ship for ultra
back
quiet.
to ultra quiet. Let's see if we can detect him anytime soon. Drum roll, everyone. No joy. Is there a layer? Yep, there's a layer. Okay. Let's drop below the layer.
Passing 200 feet.
He might be hiding below the layer, although it's very weak. Still nothing. I'm impatient. I fancy a scrap. Let's use the active sonar. So he'll know exactly where I am. He's probably going to launch.
Con sonar, switching to active search.
Anticipation is killing me, but still nothing. Wow. Well, that's a bit anticlimactic. Nothing going on.
Passing 200 feet.
Get above the layer. What else is? Huh. I know I wasn't going to use these
Shoot 2-1. Aye,
torpedoes,
sir.
but
Con, fire control, we've lost the wire. Shoot 2-3. Aye, con, fire control, we've lost the wire.
I'm going to create a bunch of noise right now and see if that actually has any effect. So they should hear the torpedo launch, and if they don't, they should detect these torpedoes when they start getting closer.
Con sonar, switching to passive search.
But really, wow, if that didn't have... It's just typical. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and start that again. I'm just like, are you kidding me right now? Did that really just happen? I guess it did. Okay, back in the Super B, back in the Superb. And do this. So we want to add some Tigerfish D to the mix. Load that. Alright, let's try. One more time.
Con sonar, new contact bearing.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Con sonar, new contact bearing. 353. Designated Sierra 2.
Come left to 081. Helm aye.
Okay, it's like we found him this time. I bet you 2 is a trawler. So go ahead and take a look here, see if we can detect what it is pretty quickly before we get an idea there. We'll get my depth to 300 feet or less because we have to launch at 300 feet or shallower. Let's see, what is this? I would say it's
Con
trawler.
sonar, Sierra 2 is classified as merchant.
Passing 300 feet.
Okay. Well, that's good. But I really wanted to get a better idea of this thing. I really want to know where the Charlie 2 is. So give us a second or so, and I will accelerate time. We should get a better acoustic signature on
Con,
him
helm, steady course.
in a jiffy. It's taking its time. 50% solution. Oh, it's getting better now. Okay. I kind of feel like firing, but if I ping him actively, I'll get a better idea of his location. But he's slowed right down. But he's there. He is. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and just point it at the. I'm gonna point it at the blue dot.
Shoot 2-5. Aye, sir.
Now I imagine he's heard that.
Con sonar, launch
Oh, yeah.
in from Sierra 1.
Yeah, he's heard that. So here's the other advantage of the rocket-powered torpedo. So his torpedo is slowly inching its way towards me, and my torpedo is blasting its way towards him at 200 something knots. Now I'm curious as to when this torpedo,
Come right to
I'm going to take some
253.
evasive
Helm
action.
aye.
When this torpedo goes off. Actually, we can't quite go as deep as I wanted to go.
Passing 300 feet.
Make turns for 10 knots. Maneuvering aye.
When my torpedo comes off the rocket motor, how it's simulated.
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 2, last bearing 2.
Okay,
6,
that was pretty-
9.
wow.
Contact is in the baffles. Con sonar, regained contact.
It missed,
on Sierra
but
2,
wow,
bearing
that was a
2,
very
6,
tight
9.
time. Okay, I'm going to take a swig of my coffee and just watch this engagement because my coffee is in danger of going cold. Switch back to the map, I think.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
So that flashing red star indicates or shows where he was. I actually need to go back the way I was
Come
going.
left 2. Make turns for 10 knots.
The
Maneuvering aye.
torpedo diverted pretty hard to starboard because of the noisemaker. So it's conducting a search pattern. Its search sonar
Con
range
sonar, noisemaker bearing 165.
is about 3,000 yards, 2,800 yards, and so I really could do with staying 3,000 yards away at the closest. Looks like the torpedo's acquired something, but I just don't see what it's acquired.
Con sonar
Wow.
lost contact.
Okay.
Sierra 1, last bearing 167. Contact breaking up.
So it struck the target, and I mean we don't see that for sure, but I would imagine that thing punched right through it and broke the target apart.
Con, dive at 700 feet, dive
The
high.
game doesn't show that, and that's really what I wanted it to do. And then, of course, what I have to do is get out of the way. That seemed,
Helm. Steady course.
I'm not going to say too easy, but that's what I wanted the weapon to do. Okay. Well, now, let's really up the stakes. So, the Russians, the Soviets, had, in '84, a huge number of, I say huge, they had a significant number of Victor 1s and whiskies. They had a ton of them. So I'm going to go ahead and have 6 Victor 1s. We'll engage with 6 Victor 1s. We're also going to engage with 6 whiskies. So that's 12 targets. And then the remaining 3 are going to be a mix of, well, I guess we'll do everything but the Victor 1 and the whiskies, but we'll just make them attack boats, so we'll just go with those. So this is a pretty hardcore engagement to make, and I'm just going to give myself a whole bunch, well, as many as I can, which actually is only 6, some Tigerfish D. Now if I'm right about this weapon, this will not be an easy fight. It won't be bad, but it won't be an easy fight. I'm going to bring my grogs, I'm going to bring my Tigerfish. I've got 18 Tigerfish, 8 grogs, Mach 23s, and then 6 Tigerfish D. The Tigerfish D are a great standoff choice. The grogs are
Con sonar new.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
useful close in, and then the Tigerfish are for everything else. And if you know,
Con sonar new.
Make depth 300 feet, dive high.
if you've watched my videos, or you know at least the
Con sonar new contact bearing 036. Designated Sierra 3.
the
Con
Cold
sonar
Waters game,
Sierra 1 is classified as submerged submarine.
then you'll understand that what I'm trying to do here.
Con sonar new contact bearing 016. Designated Sierra 5. Con sonar Sierra 5 is classified as submerged submarine. Con sonar Sierra 6 is classified as submerged submarine.
Okay, so what I'm doing here, in some ways, is an advantage to me as the attacker.
Con sonar new contact bearing 040. Designated Sierra 8.
Because there's 15 enemy
Con
vessels.
sonar new contact bearing 025. Designated Sierra 9.
And there's just one of me.
Con, dive at 300 feet, dive high.
Which
Con
means
sonar Sierra 1 is classified as submerged submarine.
anything I
Con
detect,
sonar new contact bearing 050. Designated Sierra 13.
means that anything I detect is going to be a target.
Con sonar Sierra 10 is classified as submerged submarine.
And that gives me an advantage. Now the disadvantage I've got is 15 sets of torpedoes tracking my way potentially at any one time. So I'm going to accelerate time.
Con sonar new contact bearing
Okay.
042. Designated Sierra
We've
14.
It would appear identified all of them. 15. We've been able to detect 15 targets. What is this? Oh, it gave me a Sierra.
Con sonar, Sierra 1, Boar, is classified as submerged submarine.
Okay. So, the plan. The plan is to
Con, torpedo room, tube 2 ready.
figure out where the cluster is and give them a whole ton bunch of weapons. Ton bunch. I think that's a name. He's only 6,500 yards away. Now, my grogs are going to be great against the single hull diesel electric. So things like your whiskies,
Con sonar, Sierra 1, Boar, is cavitating.
houses, are going to be fairly easy meat for even for a grog. Because they're not very quick. They're single hull, I believe. So one hit, they're pretty much toast. Compare and contrast that with a Kilo. That's a nasty piece of kit. That thing can cause a lot of harm. It's got very good weapons. So I'm going to go ahead and preemptively strike on this whiskey, this Kilo even. I'm going to fire this now. I think we'll actually go here.
Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 1, 0.
Right, so that got a lot of action. It didn't actually get that much action, but that got some action.
Con sonar, Sierra 1, 0, is cavitating.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
I mean, only the...
Con sonar, Sierra 1, 0, is cavitating.
Shoot 2-3.
Okay.
Aye, sir.
Not that...
Con sonar, Sierra 1, 0, is cavitating.
Not that many of the...
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 0, 2, Boar.
Not that much activity from the enemy right now. What we've done is we've got a Tigerfish D en route to the Kilo, but it may also engage the Sierra 11, the whiskey here.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 0, Boar 3.
I'd kind of like to tackle that
Con
Sierra,
sonar, noisemaker bearing 0, Boar 5.
because the Sierra is bad news. So we'll get another one of these Tigerfish D out, and we'll get it...
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 0, 2, 9.
We'll get it here.
Shoot 2-5. Aye, sir.
And seeing as we're already causing mayhem and havoc, let's get a grog up. The grog will lose
Con
its...
sonar, Sierra 1, 0, is
No,
cavitating.
let's not. Okay, so...
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, 1, last bearing 0. Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 1.
So pretty much my Tigerfish D went active and immediately it hit the whiskey, the Sierra 11. I want to
Con
get
sonar, noisemaker bearing 0, 3, 2.
I want to get another shot out against Sierra 12 against that Kilo there. There's another Kilo Sierra 13. That was what I was targeting originally, but that's by the by. These grogs are moving very slowly. So Sierra 1. Sorry, torpedo 1 even, very, very slowly. Not likely
Come left to 295.
to do much of anything. Let's see how well...
Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 1, 4.
So...
Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 1, 4.
It looks
Con
like...
sonar, noisemaker bearing 0, 3, 6. Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 0, 5, 1. Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 0, 1, 6.
Alright, it looked like my... wow, my Tigerfish
Con
D is
sonar, noisemaker bearing 0, 1, 5.
being passed from target to target as it just acquires and gets blown off by a noisemaker. And now it's hunting something. I think it's a...
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 3, last bearing 0, 2, 1. Contact breaking
It was a
up.
Victor one. I got a couple of Tigerfish D out against a Kilo and a Sierra 1, and I, meanwhile, am gonna just change
Make
course.
turn for 15 knots. Maneuvering aye.
So what is interesting here is their weapons have
Con
gone
sonar lost
live.
contact.
Con maneuvering. Making turns for 15 knots.
And may start targeting their own
Noisemaker bearing 0, 4, 5.
their own submarines. So what that points, that's what I mean by there's 15 of them. Well,
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, 4, last bearing 059. Contact breaking up.
Now there's just 11 of them. We've taken 4 down in very quick succession, and they were all taken down with the Tigerfish D. I want to watch and see if this Sierra 13, this Kilo, gets eaten by this this Tigerfish D. So
Con, helm, steady
let's
course.
stick here for a jiffy and see what happens. It's acquired something.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing
I missed.
060.
So the Kilo managed to dodge it by dropping a noisemaker. And now the Tigerfish D is going to acquire something else, maybe?
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 2 bearing 029.
Where are you going, sunshine?
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 4 last bearing 348. Contact faded.
I think it's doubling back on itself to have another go at the Kilo, which we can now see. So if it detects it like so, it snaps to it. Oh, that's very aggressive the way it turns. Kilo's disappeared, but I think he's going to eat one. Hello.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 13 last bearing 059. Contact breaking up.
I would imagine I made quite a mess of that boat.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 4 bearing 351.
So I don't think that this is quite an uber weapon, but for sure it's making a bit of a mess of them.
Con, fire control, weapon.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 2 last bearing 027. Contact faded.
And now my Tigerfish is going to start tackling the rest of them. So and
Con sonar noisemaker bearing 353.
there's a cluster of 4 torpedoes coming at me, 5 torpedoes I should say, and I don't think I feel particularly threatened by them. So I think the rest of the battle is likely to be a bit of a mop-up circumstance.
Con sonar noisemaker bearing 028. Con sonar torpedo in the water. Torpedo in the water.
That's
bearing
bad.
051.
That's a USET.
Con sonar torpedo in the water. Torpedo in the water. Bearing 063.
Con, fire control, we've lost the wire.
That's a USET 80. Now I am going to make some evasive action here. Yeah, that's a USET 80 on my tail. So
Con, fire control, we've lost the wire.
Con, helm, steady course.
bit of a
Con sonar
disappointment. I
noisemaker
suppose.
bearing 3. Con sonar no longer cavitating.
But
Passing 400 feet.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1 last bearing 030. Contact faded.
what's interesting though, this Victor 1, he's being pursued by a Tigerfish and one of a Soviet-made
Con
torpedo.
sonar regained contact on Sierra 2 bearing 036. Con sonar noisemaker bearing 008.
Con, knuckle formed. Con, torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
So I'm being followed by 2 torpedoes. It's the third one that's come down to join the mix, but that's a set 65. The 2 that are following me are a couple of thousand yards behind
Con
me.
sonar lost contact. Sierra 4 last bearing 012. Contact faded. Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 4 last bearing 012. Contact.
Con, maneuvering, making turns for 3-2 knots.
Con, knuckle
I
formed.
don't think they're really that big a threat, except, yeah, I'm going to treat them as though they're a threat because, well,
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 2.
Make depth 600 feet. Dive I.
managed to just
Con, knuckle
get
formed.
one of them to decide it wants to go somewhere else, but the other one is still tracking me, and it may still be wire guided. It likely came from the Kilo or the Sierra 13, Sierra 14, and I don't know for sure. Both of which are now dead, so they shouldn't be wire guided.
Con sonar noise.
Con, knuckle formed.
But it's a superior quality torpedo, and so it's gonna be able to track me despite knuckling away.
Con, knuckle
And
formed.
to be fair, being a different depth to the weapon makes knuckles a little less effective. But we're almost at 800 feet.
Passing 800 feet.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it another knuckle.
Con, knuckle
And
formed.
that actually worked. So let's punt the boat
Passing 800
towards the
feet.
surface. drop a noisemaker, aim right back
Helm right
towards
2.
that torpedo.
077. Helm I.
And climb. Okay, one of them's coming up, yeah. So
Passing 600
the
feet.
far one has identified what I'm doing
Passing 500
and is
feet.
not convinced by it,
Passing 400 feet.
which is disappointing.
Con sonar,
But-
we are cavitating.
I'm actually going to pull up hard.
Passing 200 feet.
Go ahead and reverse the course.
Con, knuckle formed.
Descend.
Passing 100
Might
feet.
be about to break. No, didn't quite break the surface. Okay, and then turn into it.
Con, knuckle
And
formed.
this is very risky. If I can get below it.
Passing 100 feet.
Oh, 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 oh.
Passing 200 feet.
God, I like them close, but not that
Passing
close.
300
Good
feet.
grief.
Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
So now I'm gonna get down to depth, and I'm gonna head away. I'm just gonna go north.
Passing 500 feet.
Oh, I got the Victor 1.
Passing 600
Something
feet.
got the Victor 1. Oh, depth.
Passing 700 feet.
Con. Helm. Steady course.
Passing 800 feet.
Okay, it reacquired me. There it comes. There's a further one and a closer one. The closer one doesn't know where I am right now. The further one does. See how the closer one has now gone back to circling? I'm going to attempt to evade the far one, but I'm only 1,500 yards away. I might get to 2,000 yards. It's got a 3,000 yard sensor range, so
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 2, last bearing 061. Contact faded.
it's gonna know where I am, and that's honestly that's fine. I mean, it's okay. Yeah, and now I think they're both gonna track me. Yeah. So for what it's worth, we'll knuckle. We'll knuckle, he says,
Con, knuckle formed.
and see if we can throw the further one off me. But the one that's closer, that's now on my 6, it's spiraling down after me. I'm pretty sure it is anyway. Let's just take a look. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is drag these 2 torpedoes back towards the enemy. I don't know that I'm going to be able to do this
Con,
effectively,
knuckle formed.
but we'll try it. So there's a Victor 1 just off the nose.
Come right 2. 070. Helm I.
And yeah, let me go ahead and turn away from these 2 torpedoes, then knuckle back at them. Like so.
Con, knuckle formed.
Get back onto course 070 and really... Actually, no. It's Victor 1 is pop. Oh, it's hard to say. I know it's somewhere in front of me, and what I want to do is drag these USSR-80s towards another target. And if I can get them to engage that target rather than me, that's a bit of a result, because I'll attempt to slip away. Or at least I'm going to, sharing is caring. I'm going to share the love.
Con, knuckle formed.
Another knuckle that broke their lock. Get my depth to something around about 400 feet.
Passing 800 feet.
Coming up like a fart in the bath right now.
Passing 700
Yep,
feet.
it reacquired me. Level off at
Passing
500
600 feet.
Like so. Point the nose
Passing
down
500 feet.
aggressively. Bit of ballast. Go. That's good enough. And yes, they are most definitely following me, but I've got my depth to 400 feet. And it's more likely that the Victor 1
Con, knuckle formed.
is at 400 feet as opposed to 800 feet.
Con, knuckle formed.
Okay. Second knuckle threw off the second torpedo, but the first one's back on me, so... And I'm moving too quickly to be able to determine where the other guys are, but that's alright, that's fine. It's okay.
Con sonar, regained contact.
Con, knuckle formed.
Eventually these torpedoes will lose interest in me and blow up. Well, they'll actually run out of fuel, they won't lose interest in me, but they will blow up.
Con, knuckle formed.
They will self-destruct. That's interesting. That torpedo to my south, hunting something else now. it turned away and it dived. I wonder if it detected something else down there.
Knuckle formed.
Something that I don't know that's down there right now. No, it's back at me. Okay. There it comes. It's climbing up. Well, there is a wreck underneath me, which maybe threw it off. Maybe. Oh, I wonder if the stupid bubbles is throwing it off as I go over the Victor 1. That would make sense. The sunken wreck's producing a bunch of bubbles, and that's a pretty good countermeasure. That's good to know.
Knuckle formed.
So it's not only is it a target for them, because they're tempted by it, but oh, something blew up in the distance there.
Knuckle formed.
Probably a torpedo ran out of fuel, but we might be about to see this Victor 1 take another pummeling. There we go. Happy with that. Gonna keep my nose pointing away from this torpedo chasing me if I can. Yeah, and it's now going for something else. I think it's going for the Victor 1.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Let's run to ultra quiet. Let's run north.
Come right to 359 Helm I.
And see if we can detect what might be being fired at. Or what being tracked.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1, bearing 088.
Okay.
Con sonar lost contact.
It was.
Sierra 2,
Look at that.
last bearing 130. Contact breaking up. Con sonar launch transient from Sierra 5.
Alright. That's to my north.
Con sonar
And-
regained contact on Sierra 6, bearing 007.
I'm actually tempted to give
Passing 400
Sierra
feet.
5 a nasty surprise in the shape of
Con
Tigerfish D.
sonar.
Con Helm. Steady course.
So we'll go ahead and get to 300 feet. That should be close enough. I'm going to give him one of these.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 9, bearing 034. Con sonar regained contact on
Passing 300 feet.
Con, torpedo room, VLS is empty.
Right, so that's my last.
Con sonar regained contact.
Come right to 090 Helm I.
Oh, there's a kilo still out there. Okay, never mind. That's fine.
Make turns for 15 knots. Maneuvering I.
Make depth 600 feet. Dive I.
Okay. Tigerfish D is heading off to go and
Maneuvering. Making turns for 15 knots.
have a conversation with this Victor 1. I'm going to turn away from his
Con
incoming
sonar
torpedo.
noisemaker bearing 019.
He dropped a noise, well, someone dropped a noisemaker and turned
Fire
away.
control. Weapon countermeasure homing.
And the Tigerfish D immediately snapped round and went to pursue him and then, of course, turned away. But as it turns away, it might detect something else. It has. So it's going for another
Con
target.
Helm. Steady course.
So this thing really does cause, wherever it goes, this causes massive
Con
disruption.
sonar noisemaker bearing 041.
I don't think I can catch the Victor
Con
1
sonar
with...
lost contact. Sierra 9, last bearing 034. Contact breaking up.
But we can certainly catch a kilo with it.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
And I think I want a Tigerfish up here.
Con, fire control. We've lost the wire.
Time to start getting some ordnance out there, I think.
Shoot 2-4. Aye, sir.
Because...
Con, dive at 600 feet. Dive I.
Con sonar lost contact.
Passing 600 feet.
Yeah, because we want to saturate their defenses. So we have a grog.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 5, last bearing 013. Contact faded.
We have a grog going east.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1, 2, bearing 083.
The grog is an interesting...
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 6, last bearing 004. Contact faded.
So the grog is an interesting weapon for a few reasons. One, it's the weapon that's never really seemingly talked about.
Con, torpedo room, tube 3 ready.
I'll take another look in my reference guide and see if it mentions much about the Mark 23, but it's like the weapon that existed but no one wants to talk about. It was It was
Con
available.
sonar, noisemaker bearing 086.
It was made available in the. Oh, look at that. The kilo got rattled by a grog. It was made available in the 1960s, but it was already considered to be obsolete because it's slow. I mean, its attack speed is 29 knots. So I've just told this thing to get into attack mode.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 6, bearing 357.
It's going to be able to overtake this kilo.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 5, bearing 007.
But slowly. Kilo can do 25 knots, and the grog can do and will do 29 knots. It's got a small warhead, and it's slow, but it's quiet.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 350.
It's got a poor range. 12,000 yards is, I think, what was estimated, so it can't go very far, and it takes a long time to get there. But the enemy doesn't know that. In fact, as far as the enemy is concerned, it's a torpedo that is heading their way, and it's guided to them. It's going to follow them around. So, absolutely, it's a threat. Will this? There's 2 torpedoes coming down from that Victor 1. Will this weapon be enough to kill a kilo? I don't verily know.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 099.
But it's certainly going to threaten.
Con, fire control, weapon countermeasure homing.
It's certainly going to threaten him. And sometimes the threat's all he really needs.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 336.
Come left to 041. Helm
I'm
I.
going to adjust my course, head a little further
Con,
north.
fire control,
Right.
weapon acquired.
Grog is now
Con
acquired.
sonar, noisemaker bearing 359.
Grog has now acquired the kilo. It might be enough to hit this guy. I kind of want to watch this engagement. It'd be nice if we can get him in the face. Look at that. See, the kilo's being aggressive. He's going to drop a noisemaker, and he's turning away quite hard.
Con, helm,
So
steady
I'll
course.
preempt this by steering the grog almost parallel to him, like so.
Con sonar,
Right.
noisemaker bearing 122.
So there goes his noisemaker, and he's turning away to run. But I'm going to manually steer the grog past this noisemaker. And in fact, yeah, the kilo's
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
turning back towards me. So I'll let this this grog guide itself to the target. Let's see. I mean, we can see. I'm actually going to steer it towards the nose. And let it. Yeah, I'm manually steering it here. Okay. So have some of this. No, probably not enough to sink it. No, but enough to give him a bit of a headache. Which is
Come left to 310. Helm I.
all we can ask for.
Con sonar,
And
noisemaker bearing 357.
he's sinking. He's losing altitude. He's sinking. He's dropping down. So another grog might be enough to finish him off.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 10, bearing 024.
But I happen to have
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing
Tigerfish in the area.
164.
Ooh, I'm very close to whatever
Con
the heck this
sonar,
is.
noisemaker bearing 096.
To my east.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Make that Tigerfish live.
Con, helm, steady course.
Shoot 2-2. Aye,
Get
sir.
another grog off. I think there's a whiskey that's just
Con
lost.
sonar lost contact. Sierra 12, last bearing 169. Contact faded.
Interesting how this is developing here.
Con, fire control, we've lost the wire.
Okay, so I've got a Tigerfish. Tigerfish number 4 is heading west towards the kilo, I believe. And although it maybe, yeah, it is. Unfortunately, it's actually running along the bottom of the ocean, which is for heading towards a wreck. So I'm going to fix that. I need it to go towards Sierra 12. Now, it's perilously close to me at this point. We'll turn on its active sonar.
Con, fire control, weapon countermeasure homing.
I don't.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 096.
I'm pulling it up off the seabed. I need it to go for the
Con,
kilo
torpedo room, tube 3 ready.
if it can locate it, which right now it's struggling to. And it's a little close to me for comfort, let's face it, but...
Con, fire control, weapon countermeasure.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 034.
There's 2 targets to my north coming down.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Okay, and it's gone right back down to the kilo. Yeah, I don't need it to go for the kilo. I need it to go for, sorry, for the Victor, the sunken Victor. Victor 2. This weapon here, what is this? That's a Tigerfish, and it's pursuing Sierra 5. Beautiful pursuit there. That's great. Let me see. The grog. No, torpedo number 2 is a grog. I'm going to point it towards this whiskey, Sierra 7, the whiskey. I actually think I want to get another grog out here to go for this whiskey.
Con, fire control, we've lost the wire.
We lose the wire because we've only got 2 wires on this boat. But right now, this Sierra 5, this Victor, he is not looking pretty. I'm gonna have torpedo 4 try and intercept Sierra 6. I think.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 059.
It's looking a little bit like Missile Command right now. But I've got a Tigerfish pursuing Sierra 5, this thing here, right at the center of the screen. Switch back to Sierra 5, that's the view from him. He's knackered up.
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 7, last bearing 094. Contact faded.
And he's trying to outrange, I think, the Tigerfish. And if that happens, that's okay. I'll get another... Oh.
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 5, last bearing 101. Contact is in the baffles.
He's in the baffles. So let's go ahead and turn north, and let's run to 5 knots.
Make turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Con sonar, regained contact on Sierra 5, bearing 112.
We have a grog
Con,
heading
maneuvering.
towards Sierra
Making
10.
turns for 5 knots.
Con sonar, regained
Sierra 7
contact
even.
on Sierra 8, bearing 080. Con sonar, regained contact on Sierra 12, bearing 152.
Con, torpedo room, tube 4 ready.
I mean, this Victor 1 is making a good effort of it, but he's being overhauled by the 3 knots by a Tigerfish.
Con, fire control, weapon countermeasure homing.
I'm guessing he's out of countermeasures, because this is going to be a bit of a nasty bang when it takes one up the exhaust pipe. And the Victor 1 is slowing down. Why are you slowing down?
Steady course.
Well, you slowed down and you ate one to the tail, so okay. You're dead. That's another one down. This
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 082.
I've got a grog that's gone live to my east and is now hunting the Sierra 10, the whiskey. The Tigerfish that was originally tube number 4 is now to my southwest, some distance north of the Victor 1 it was pursuing, which he's now slowed down and turned back on himself. So there's definitely stuff going on here.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 093.
I am going to have torpedo 2. It's another grog. Just going to have it continue this way. It looks like Sierra 1, this Victor 1, is coming back towards me. The grog's not really, or shouldn't really be a threat to a Victor 1, as it can't catch it. But if it's coming right at me, absolutely it can catch it. Plus, I can also turn it back and threaten Sierra 10, so I'm going to accelerate time here.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing. Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 8. Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 8.
Okay, Sierra 8's the whiskey, so let's get something out to that location.
Con, fire control, we've lost the wire.
Lost the wire there, that's disappointing.
Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 10.
Actually,
Shoot 2-4. Aye, sir.
we'll get another out towards Sierra 1. So Torpedo 2 is tracking Sierra 7, the whiskey, and it's locked on.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 219.
Sierra 10 has fired upon me.
Come left 2. Make turns for 15 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Not the best call.
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 1, 2, last
Con maneuvering. Making turns for 15 knots.
So set
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
set 65
Con
is
sonar, noisemaker bearing 085.
set 65 is not the most competent weapon in the world, but it doesn't need to be. It just has to get.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 7, last bearing 092. Contact is in the baffles.
Just has to get close enough to be a threat.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 219.
Same with the grog, to be fair.
Con sonar, regained contact on Sierra 1, bearing 106.
If you're
Come left 2. 199. Helm aye.
if an alpha is unlucky or isn't crewed particularly well or piloted particularly well, it will
Con sonar, regained contact on Sierra 10, bearing.
Con helm. Steady course.
take a grog in the face. Interesting. Southwest of me, the Sierra 6, this Victor 1, he got the attention of the Tigerfish, it looks like. Now, did the Tigerfish get him? No, but it's pursuing him now, so
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 1, last bearing 107. Contact faded.
so I thought that Victor 1, Sierra 6 was way clear, but whatever happened, the Tigerfish got a whiff of him, and now is pursuing him, so he may yet succumb to a Tigerfish. And if that's the case, I'm running out of bad guys. How many have I killed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's only 5 left. So we have a whiskey, a kilo. He's bad news. A Victor 1, another whiskey. And is there something else? Am I missing something? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. Oh, and a Victor 1 that fleed to the east. I think. Under any metric, this is most certainly a victory. Assuming I can escape, which, with that much confusing going on, I absolutely can. I mean, launch a grog towards anything that's still floating, and it.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 078.
The other thing I can do is go active on my sonar, which I think I'm going to try.
Con sonar, switching to active search.
And yes, so I immediately got something back on Sierra 12 on that kilo. And if he launches, I've got a Tigerfish waiting for you. Oh wow, he's close. Bazinga. Okay, well, you need one of these.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
He's not that close, but he's closer than we thought.
Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 10.
Okay, so Sierra 10 fancies a piece of me. He may.
Con, torpedo room, tube 2 ready.
Con, fire control, we've lost the
You can
wire.
have another one of these. This is Sierra 10. So Sierra 12, the kilo. Let's take a look. What's this kilo doing? Oh, that's what he's doing. That's why I couldn't detect him then. Well, in which case we'll send this. We'll send grog number 1 to dive down at the depth. Interestingly enough, the torpedo from the whiskey,
Come
Sierra
right
10,
2.
is a threat.
313. Helm aye.
I think Victor 1 has shaken off the. Yeah, he took a torpedo, so I feel like giving him a grog just to insult him, but we're actually going to give him
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 10, last bearing 075. Contact is in the baffles.
maybe for good measure, we'll give him a grog too. I mean, that'd be funny if we kill him with a grog.
Con, fire.
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 2, last bearing 130. Contact is in the baffles.
I'm out of grogs.
Con sonar, regained contact on Sierra 1, bearing 095. Con sonar, regained contact on Sierra 1.
Con helm. Steady course.
So the Victor 1, Sierra 6 is turning away. Sensible chap.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 2, 1, 1.
He's going full defensive. I'm going to turn off my active sonar.
Con
There's
sonar,
Sierra 1.
switching to passive search.
Oh, guess what I got for you, Sunshine? Well, I got a tigerfish that happens to be in the area.
Fire control,
Just
weapon
needs something to
acquired.
kill. There you go. Look at that. He repositioned pretty effectively, but I had a
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 2, 0, 5.
I had a weapon in the vicinity that's able to tackle him, so that is good news. Sierra 10, meanwhile, does have a grog
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
heading towards him that I hope will go active close enough. I've managed to keep sufficient distance between
Main
myself
turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering aye.
and the set.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 8, bearing 0, 6, 9.
Managed to keep sufficient distance between
Con
myself and the set
maneuvering, making turns
65s.
for 5 knots.
Torpedo 4 has just burned through
Con, fire control, weapon countermeasure homing.
whatever he's burned through, and now it's tracking him. And it looks
Con
like we have a
sonar, noisemaker bearing 1, 9, 9. Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 1, 0, 0.
into my
Con, fire control, weapon countermeasure homing.
into my southwest south. We have a grog and a tigerfish engaging
Con, fire control, weapon
a
acquired.
Victor 1. So it's all going terribly for the Soviets. I'm manually steering Torpedo 4 towards Victor 1, Sierra 1 even. I don't know that it's going to get him. I might have done. It might have just given him something to think about. Yeah, it did. So you've got a big hole in your flank now. You're in trouble.
Con
And
sonar, noisemaker bearing 0, 6, 9.
I'm giving him another one of these. Torpedo 1, meanwhile. Pretty good idea where the kilo is. So I'll run it there. And then
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Victor 1 is about to eat a tigerfish. And probably die because of it.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing
Oh,
0,
it's gonna
8,
miss.
3.
Wowzers. I guess this Victor 1 is just drifting then.
Con, torpedo room, tube 4 ready.
Yeah, and it looks like this grog has targeted the kilo on the bottom of the seabed, so that's probably a foregone conclusion. I don't know that it's necessarily going for the crash, the wreckage. Might be. No, it's not. So see how it's going with a different target. The seabed's littered with it, with evidence of
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 1, 8,
the Royal
1.
Navy. There we go. Did that get the
Con
kilo?
sonar lost contact.
Yes, it did.
Sierra 6, last bearing 1, 8, 0. Contact breaking up.
That's another kill. Let me see. So, looks like we got Sierra 6. So that's 2 over here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We've killed 12. And we have a definite threat on Sierra 1. Looks like the Sierra 10's about to eat something. 2 torpedoes are tracking him.
Con sonar, noisemaker
That's a
bearing
grog
0, 9,
and
1.
two grogs. So I don't think you'll be able to keep that up, keep avoiding them for so long. So yeah, I think Sierra 10 is going to buy it too. That only leaves Sierra 1 has something out on him. Let's go ahead and commit a weapon to Sierra 8. Like so.
Shoot 2-2. Aye, sir.
And I'm going to accelerate time.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 1, 0, 0. Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 1, 0, 2.
Wow.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 1, 0, 4.
Sierra 10 is doing really well to
Con
avoid.
sonar, noisemaker bearing 1, 0, 1.
Color me impressed.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 0, 9, 6.
Con, fire control.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 1, 0, 0.
It might take a Tigerfish to take out Sierra 10 at this rate.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Maybe. So, yeah. That.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 099.
So Torpedo 3 is tracking Sierra 1. He's avoided quite a few torpedoes at this point. Sierra 10 is making is embarrassing my 2 Grog torpedoes. Sierra 8 has a torpedo tracking towards him.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 100. Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 062.
Yeah, there goes Sierra 1. And I think I got distracted there. I should really have made Torpedo 2 active. I think we'll do that now.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
So he's now tracking the whiskey. And then we still have a Grog that's disappeared on me. Tracking, I guess, this Sierra 10. Tracking a whiskey. There's a... So... That's just the last 2 targets, but this really has been wiping the floor, and I'm pretty certain that having 6 kills down to 6 Tigerfish D has made, well, it cut down the numbers quite a bit. And now, I'm not saying that I'm going to constantly score kills, but...
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 10. Last bearing 106. Contact breaking up.
Right, so now there's just Sierra 8, and if this misses, we'll let him go, because he needs to go tell the story of how one Royal Navy boat took care of a whole truckload of...
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 060.
Truckload of enemy, of Soviet torpedoes. Let's run this torpedo active. This is the Tigerfish. It's engaging with a whiskey class boat. Bit of an antique. The Soviets had 300 or something of these in service at one point. We might get that down into the 200s.
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 8. Last bearing 058. Contact breaking up.
Right. Well, I think that being the last of 15, I think that's a good enough place to draw a conclusion to today's battle. Is the Tigerfish D too overpowered? Maybe. I might nerf the damage it causes just a little bit, because it really did slice through the enemy. But on the other hand, I took on 15 with Tigerfish and Grogs and the secret weapon. So I killed 9 with other less effective torpedoes. I think that speaks for itself. Well, I hope you got something from this live stream. I appreciate there were times when I just have a blank screen showing.
Room, tube 2 ready.
That was not very exciting. But otherwise, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something from it. And if you have, you know what to do. If you thought it sucked, go ahead and let me know in the comments, or let me know by disliking it. But thanks so much, everyone. Take care. I'll catch you the next time.